the platform that was created on cooperatives, and especially when we are talking about digitalization and moving forward to how important data is in cooperatives. So firstly, from where I'm standing, it's we have a lack of technology. Not that it's lacking, but I feel it's not affordable to the farmers. And so if we can find good access and affordability to technology, we will transform the cooperative and the farming sectors at large. And secondly is to encourage innovation hubs and collaborations between countries. And as for Namibia, we are not that much into cooperatives, and as much as we want to bring it, we want to be a baby which has been taught how to do it from big countries that have already established themselves into these cooperatives, so that we can also reach a milestone into cooperatives worldwide. Because if you look at it, it's for India as an example, it's you are doing so good. You are doing so good in it, and the payment system when I came here, it's so good that you don't carry money. Everything is paid digitally, and unlike back home when we have to carry cash all the time. And the other point that I would probably want to make is to encourage the tech companies, the good ones, so that they can create a centralized digital platform where we can share these ideas and access them from wherever we are worldwide, so that we can share knowledge, we can share how you have done it, the case studies, the good and progressive cooperatives, how they have done it, so that we don't waste a lot of time into figuring out the bad and the good and all that. Lastly, I would maybe just want to pose a question to say, what's the way forward from this conference? Are we ending it here and we'll not see each other again? I go back to Namibia, you stay in India, you go back to your countries, or will there be a platform created for follow-up and also for impact assessment and also monitoring and evaluation on the way forward after this conference? Thank you.
So, very good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mrs. Anju Okalu from Mauritius. In fact, I'll share the opinion of my colleague here. And for me, my key takeaway is today, it is high time that we collaborate across the board and set a common goal, mission, and vision for cooperatives. And that is to be resilient, robust, and sustainable together. Okay? And this can only be achieved if we have a very good platform where we can share research and development, technology development, capacity building, expertise, as well as we can have consultancy services that can help us to move forward in that way. Thank you very much.
So anyone else wants to share their insights or some experiences? Any delegate? Yes. Sir. Please.
Sir, myself, Dr. S. Dharmaraj, Assistant Professor here. I'm not a delegate, just to share as a part of this content sharing. We are talking about many thought currents. We could have deliberate and discuss many outcomes, sir. regarding this cooperatives concern in India, it is a state subject. And 1904 is the first enactment, and our state laws are very old. And the legal ecosystem of these cooperatives has to be relooked in. And accordingly, our government have brought up the model bylaws, which enables many adoption of many of such kind of these transformations which we are deliberating. But there is a resistance from the states are concerned to apply even though it's a model bylaws is prescribed, but the acceptance in the legal system of the states is concerned. So this one of the sharing is that it's a policy matter. The legal ecosystem is to be relooked into, and according to that, enabling these cooperatives to function democratically. That's my viewpoint, sir.
So, I assume that, everybody has shared their experiences, though we are, running short of time, and you have a valedictory function for which, everybody is waiting. So, I've been asked to sum it up. But, it was really wonderful to listen to all of you, some of you who have spoken about your experiences and what has transpired in last 2-3 days here. So, first of all, as Sir said, it appears that you had a very heavy lunch, because normally after lunch, people don't speak much. And so that's a very good thing that you people are enjoying Pune, you are enjoying the institute, the facilities and the hospitality, and of course the experience. You see, I come from Mumbai, and as I've been introduced by Siddhavi, that I'm advocate and I represent Indian Federation of United Nations Association, New Delhi. Last year in June 2024, United Nations General Assembly has proclaimed this year, 2025, as International Year of Cooperatives. And therefore, you'll see all around the world, a lot of activities will be taking place, and by doing this conference here, you have also joined the International League of Declaration of International Year of Cooperatives. Now, we have to understand one thing, that why United Nations keeps on declaring certain years and days and months and weeks for a particular cause or particular, region, or for particular campaign. Because what happens is, at international level, there's different activities happening, maybe in India, Pakistan, China, Europe, Middle East, somewhere. And some region is doing very good, and some region is, just lagging behind, or they are not able to understand what's happening in the other part. So when we see that there are consistent efforts are being made from different corners of the world, so in order to give a global voice and to give a platform, international years have been declared, so that everybody comes on a platform, and they learn and share and understand what each others are doing, and then we can then take those takeaways and do reforms or restructuring or case study, or understand, like some of the participants were mentioning about law. Like, for example, you were mentioning about law. Of course, in India, we have the laws which we were following is from the British era. And now, a parliament is, in every session you will see the new laws have been introduced. And of course, you can't just pass laws like that. You have to debate and discuss and deliberate. And therefore, we have two houses, and that's what they are doing it. This particular aspect about technology, last year it was a year-round discussion about data protection, data security, IT, and other laws. And you must have heard about Competition Commission of India, who have imposed crores of rupees fine on Google because of their anti-competitive laws. So the laws are coming in force, and it's very interesting that data protection and IT technology, then your cybersecurity things are shaping up, and as it shapes up, then you have to have some regulatory authority and laws, and that is also our lawmakers are doing it. And now you'll be having one more lawmaker, who is your minister, our minister, and I think what all you have discussed, the institute, maybe through the director or the agency, can put a report to him, which he can further produce before the ministry and the cabinet and the parliament, and some takeaways can be taken not only by India but also at international level. And that's a very good opportunity here. And I thank Professor Hema Yadav, ma'am, the director, of the Institute for inviting me here and also for organizing this beautiful conference. And all the people who are part and parcel of this conference, our chair, Professor Khanapuri, who has come from Mumbai. I mean, I got to know him here, so now we are neighbors here also, and there also. Pleasure talking to you, sir, listening to you, sir, and all the participants. And I was very impressed learning from, all the people sitting here. They're working with, in the Prime Minister's Committee, and then working with the secretaries, and then cooperative movements from Sri Lanka and all. So these are, the very purpose of these kind of conferences is that you get people from all walks of life together and just make them, exchange their ideas and see that what other parts in the other world is happening, what is happening in your country, and then probably you can exchange something, some ideas, some notes, some takeaways. And I think you people have beautifully gelled all that, and it's wonderful to see all of you. And I wish you all the best, and do keep this network which you have made here, live. And now you have WhatsApp and so many other facilities. You can be connected, and let's share and learn and understand the cooperative movement together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your kind facilitation, Mr. Sheikh and Dr. Khanapuri. It's indeed very useful for us to summarize the key takeaways and actionable insights of this conference. We'll now move into the valedictory session, wherein we'll have a presentation by the Director, VAMNICOM and CICTAB on the report, and also to answer some of the questions that were made about the next steps and the follow-ups. That will be part of the presentation, so we can be guided by that. But before we move on, I'll take this opportunity to request Dr. Ghosh, Professor and Registrar, VAMNICOM, to kindly, on behalf of the organizing committee, to kindly facilitate the chairperson and the co-chair for their kind facilitation and gracious presence in this occasion. May I please request Dr. Ghosh to join us on the dais and hand over the token of gratitude on behalf of the organizing committee. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you again, Dr. Khanapuri and Mr. Sheikh, for your presence and gracious facilitation. We'll now take a quick break and be seated for the minister, and the guests are expected to be joining us anytime. So request you all to please be seated, and we'll quickly move into the valedictory shortly. Thank you.
काढले ना दोन Hello. Guests are arriving. I request everyone present over here to please give a huge round of applause for our honorable guest. I also invite Dr. Umakant Das, Director, Institute of Rural Management, Anand, on the dais, Professor Parthare, Director, NIBM, Mr. Anusak Fengthimawong, Deputy Director General, Laos, and Mr. Abba Gibril Sankare, Registrar General of Cooperatives, Gambia. I request everyone to please settle down quickly. करीतो स्वागत सुमनांनी, दिन आज भाग्याचा आला, स्वागताच्या परिमळ गंधाने सभा मंडप हा सुंदर सजला. सुस्वागतम, सुस्वागतम, सुस्वागतम. A very warm and blissful afternoon to everyone present. It is both a profound honor and a privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome on behalf of the Ministry of Cooperation, Government of India, Center for International Cooperation and Training in Agricultural Banking, CICTAB, and Vaikunt Mehta National Institute of Cooperative Management, Vamicom, Pune. I am pleased to extend a cordial welcome to all esteemed dignitaries, distinguished guests from the cooperatives and other sectors, members of the media, faculty, staff, and students. It is also my great pleasure to welcome our esteemed participants from Bangladesh, Bhutan, Gambia, India, Kenya, Laos, Liberia, Mauritius, Namibia, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Zambia. हम सभी यहाँ सहकारिता के माध्यम से समृद्धि का सृजन, डिजिटल नवाचार और मूल्य श्रृंखला विषय पर आयोजित 3 दिवसीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन के समापन समारोह के लिए एकत्रित हुए हैं, जो 13 से 15 फरवरी 2025 तक आयोजित किया गया था. ये सम्मेलन भारत सरकार के सहकारिता मंत्रालय द्वारा प्रायोजित एवं CICTAB द्वारा आयोजित किया गया. इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन का उद्घाटन 13 फरवरी 2025 को मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर प्रसून कुमार दास, महासचिव एशिया पैसिफिक ग्रामीण एवं कृषि ऋण संघ एप्राका तथा अन्य गणमान्य अतिथियों के गरिमामय उपस्थिति में संपन्न हुआ. And today, for the valedictory ceremony, we are honored to have with us an esteemed panel of distinguished guests. Honorable Shri Muralidhar Mohol, Minister of State for Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Government of India, as Chief Guest. Honorable Minister has been proactively leading the initiatives of Ministry of Cooperation and is committed to develop cooperatives through computerization of PACs. Our other guests, dignitaries, Dr. Umakant Das, Director, Institute of Rural Management, Anand, Professor Parthare, Director, National Institute of Bank Management, Pune, Mr. Ansak Fengthimawong, Deputy Director General, Department of Rural Development, Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Laos, Mr. Abba Gibril Sankare, Registrar General of Cooperative, Gambia, and Dr. Hema Yadav, Director, CICTAB and Vamicom. Thank you. Your presence elevates the significance of this gathering, and we are truly privileged to have you here. Flowers are a timeless expression of gratitude and respect. मैं डॉक्टर हेमा यादव, निदेशक CICTAB एंड Vamicom से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वे माननीय श्री मुरलीधर मोहोल, सहकारिता एवं नागरिक उड्डयन राज्य मंत्री, भारत सरकार का पुष्पगुच्छ देकर स्वागत करें. Registrar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Professor Shantanu Ghosh, Registrar, to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Umakant Dash, Nideshak, IRMA. I again request Registrar Vamnicom to extend a warm welcome to Professor Parthare, Director NIBM Pune. So, thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. D. Ravi, CICTAB consultant, to extend a gracious welcome to Mr. Ansak Thimawong, Deputy Director General, Department of Rural Development, Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Laos. And also a warm and heartfelt welcome to Mr. Abba Gibril Sankare, Registrar General of Cooperatives, Gambia. Thank you, sir. With these warm gestures of welcome, we express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed dignitaries. Let us now proceed to the next segment of our program. Over the past 3 days, we have witnessed an enriching exchange of ideas, valuable insights, and thought-provoking discussions on leveraging digital innovations and value chains to strengthen the cooperative movement. To provide a glimpse of the remarkable discussions, insights, and takeaways from the past 3 days, I now invite Dr. Hema Yadav, Director CICTAB and Vamnicom, to present the conference report.
Honorable State Minister of Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Shri Muralidhar Mohal, Chief Guest of our valedictory session of our 3 days conference that we had organized at Vamnicom. On the dais, respected Dr. Dash, Director of IRMA, respected Dr. Ray, Director IRMA, and international delegate Mr. Abba, Registrar General for Gambia, and our guest Mr. Anasab from the Lao PDR. On the dais, I extend our heartiest welcome, and it's an honor for me to kind of welcome you on this valedictory function of our conference. मैं सामान्य मंत्री जी से के समक्ष जो है आज की इस 3 दिवसीय कार्यक्रम की रिपोर्ट मैं प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ. Now this report would be presented for the ease of everyone in the form of a presentation, and I would be now taking it forward. Right. So सामान्य मंत्री जी महोदय को मैं बताना चाहूँगी कि सर ये हमारी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कॉन्फ्रेंस का जो थीम था वो था अनलिशिंग प्रॉस्पेरिटी थ्रू कोऑपरेटिव्स. इसमें हमने डिजिटल इनोवेशंस और वैल्यू चेन के ऊपर इसमें हमने फोकस किया. 13 फरवरी से 15 फरवरी तक इसका हमने आयोजन किया. मुझे बताते हुए खुशी है कि ये इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव 2025 को इंगित करते हुए इस समारोह का हमने आयोजन किया. हमें खुशी है कि ये एक इस प्रकार की ये प्रथम कॉन्फ्रेंस है जो कि हमने इंटरनेशनल ईयर ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव्स के अंदर हमने इसका आयोजन किया. CICTAB के माध्यम से जो कि ये सेंटर फॉर इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेशन एंड ट्रेनिंग इन एग्रीकल्चर बैंकिंग CICTAB जो कि वैमनीकॉम के अंदर ही सेक्रेटेरिएट के रूप में मौजूद हैं, CICTAB के द्वारा इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया गया. CICTAB के कंट्रीज जो हमारे यहाँ के सार्क नेशंस के जो मेंबर्स हैं सर, ये हमारे मेंबर्स हैं. उसके साथ हमने दूसरे इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ भी कोलैबोरेट किया. आपके समक्ष सर CICTAB मेंबर्स के जो कंट्रीज हैं उनकी सूचना उपलब्ध है आपके पास. इसके we have members from Bangladesh and sir, we have the representation from all the countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives could not be there for us for some other reasons, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and members from the institutions of India. Next please. मैं सर कॉन्फ्रेंस का थीम वेन्यू ड्यूरेशंस जो थीम का जो सर थीम था सॉरी जो टॉपिक था वो था अनलीशिंग प्रॉस्पेरिटी, किस प्रकार से हम सहकारिता के माध्यम से प्रॉस्पेरिटी को अचीव कर सकते हैं। और CICTAB ने होस्ट किया था सर और वैमडीकॉम के इस प्रांगण के अंदर हमने इसको आयोजित किया। ये सर ये हॉल भी आपके गाइडेंस पे सर और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कोऑपरेशन के माध्यम से सर ये बिल्कुल रिसेंटली अपग्रेडेड है ये, और ये पहला यहाँ पर हमने अपना ओकेजन यहाँ पे सेलिब्रेट किया है। सर इस पूरे कॉन्फ्रेंस की सर जो हाईलाइट है वो है कि इसमें 36 पार्टिसिपेंट्स थे जो कि 12 कंट्रीज़ को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं सर। 12 वी हैव 36 पार्टिसिपेंट्स फ्रॉम 12 कंट्रीज़ एंड वी हैव 64 अदर पार्टिसिपेंट्स इन टोटलिटी sir. For 3 days we had deliberations with the 100 members of different institutions and countries. सर और इसके अंदर से हमने 5 सत्रों का आयोजन किया, 5 प्लीनरी सेशंस वर डिस्कस्ड और इन 5 सेशंस के अंदर सभी लोगों ने इस पे पार्टिसिपेट किया। और सर हम बताते हुए खुशी है कि सर इन 5 सेशंस के अंदर 27 रिसोर्स पर्सन्स, वी हैड 27 रिसोर्स पर्सन्स फ्रॉम ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस लाइक FAO, वी हैड ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस फ्रॉम अप्राका, वी हैड CICTAB एंड वी हैड IIM Mumbai and IIM Nagpur and many other institutions of our country were represented, and also the participations from the member countries were there. 27 resource person took all care कि हम इस थीम के अंतर्गत ही अपने deliberations को करें। So I'm happy to share sir ये collaborations था because International Year of Cooperative में we are also talking about partnerships, तो इसमें collaborations था 8 countries का और CICTAB country और साथ में ICA और अप्राका, इन 4 अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संस्थाओं के द्वारा उनकी सहभागिता से हम इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया। Many thanks to all these 4 organizations. The Secretary General of Apraka is here, and we also owe our gratitude to Ministry of Cooperation के सहयोग से इसका आयोजन किया सर इसका हमने एक लोगो का इस पर निर्माण किया। मुझे बताते हुए खुशी है कि ये जो लोगो है इसके अंदर हमने डिज़ाइन एलिमेंट्स का यूज़ किया। नाउ दिस लोगो एम्बॉडीज दी 4 डायनेमिक ह्यूमन फिगर्स, जैसे कि आप देख सकते हैं वी हैव 4 ह्यूमन फिगर्स विच आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग द डाइवर्स सेक्टर्स ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव्स, कैन बी इंटरप्रेटेड एज द सेक्टर्स ऑफ फिशरी, डेयरी, ऑयल सीड्स एंड एग्रीकल्चर एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एज वेल। और इसके मध्य में सर एक हमने एक ग्लोब रिप्रेजेंट करता है जो कि ग्लोबल कनेक्टिविटी, डिजिटल इंक्लूजन्स को समाहित किए हुए है। साथ ही एक व्हीट का एक गेहूं की बाली है जो कि प्रॉस्पेरिटी और फूड सिक्योरिटी को प्रदर्शित करती है। सो दिस लोगो रिप्रेजेंट्स द कोऑपरेटिव्स एट द इंटरनेशनल लेवल एंड हाउ वी हैव टू बी वेरी माइंडफुल ऑफ ग्लोबल कनेक्टिविटी एंड इंक्लूजन। सर बताते खुशी है सर कि डिज़ाइन ये हमारे यहाँ के स्टूडेंट आकाश प्रताप सिंह जो कि हमारे यहाँ के स्टूडेंट हैं, उन्होंने इस लोगो को डिज़ाइन किया है सर। नेक्स्ट सर हमने 13 फरवरी को इसका इनॉग्रेशन सेशन स्टार्ट किया था सर, और इनॉग्रेशन सेशन के अंदर कीनोट एड्रेस डॉक्टर प्रसून कुमार दास जो कि सेक्रेटरी जनरल हैं अप्राका के, बैंकॉक से आए हैं सर, उन्होंने हमारे यहाँ पे कीनोट एड्रेस दिया। उसके साथ सर डॉक्टर नरेंद्र कुमार डायरेक्टर जनरल NIID हैदराबाद और डॉक्टर भीमराय मैत्री डायरेक्टर IIM नागपुर एंड मिसेस सावित्री सिंह डेप्यूटी CEO NCUI और मिसेस सामदानी किरवैंदनिया MD सनासा श्रीलंका इसमें हमारे अतिथि के रूप में मौजूद थे और उन्होंने सभा को इसमें संबोधित किया। सर इनॉग्रेशन के टाइम पे जो की हाइलाइट्स थे वो 2 थे कि कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर इज वाइटल in economic resilience, digital transformation and rural development, and the address of the chief guest Mr. Das also highlighted there's a bigger need for policy support, digital inclusion and financial innovations. Thank you. सर जैसे कि मैंने बताया इसमें प्लीनरी सेशंस हमने डिफाइन किए 5 प्लीनरी सेशंस जिसमें हमने डिजिटल इनोवेशंस की बात की। अक्रॉस द कंट्री वी गॉट लॉट ऑफ फीडबैक फ्रॉम द कंट्रीज लाइक केन्या एंड मॉरिशस एंड गाम्बिया एंड लाओ एंड नेपाल की किस प्रकार से भारत के अंदर जो डिजिटल इनोवेशंस हुए कोऑपरेटिव्स को हम किस प्रकार से हम इन प्रैक्टिसेस को शेयर कर सकते हैं। चैलेंजेस एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन वैल्यू चेन्स, बाजार तक पहुंचने के लिए मूल्य श्रृंखला को किस प्रकार से हम इसको और सुदृढ़ कर सकते हैं। सो वी टॉक्ड अबाउट स्ट्रेंथनिंग वैल्यू चेन्स इन in this session, sir. Sustainability in cooperatives, we also see across the globe, a commitment to the climate change. And sir, हमने इस session के अंदर value chains के साथ-साथ sustainability की बात की. और fourth sir, unleashing prosperity through cooperatives, किस प्रकार से socio-economic development को ध्यान में रखते हुए how we have to bring this prosperity through greater cooperation across the countries. सर फिफ्थ सेशन था सर ग्लोबल कोऑपरेशंस की टेकअवेज सर आपके आने से पहले ये सत्र का समापन हुआ इन दिस सेशन वी वर जस्ट टेकिंग द लास्ट फ्यू क्वेश्चंस एंड व्हाट आर द की टेकअवेज यदि समापन के बाद यदि हम वापस अपने अपने देशों में जाते हैं तो हम किस प्रकार से कोऑपरेशन के लिए हम सतत प्रयासरत रहेंगे. सर कॉस्ट कटिंग थीम्स इसमें थी फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, सस्टेनेबल कोऑपरेटिव बिजनेस मॉडल, वुमेन एंड यूथ एम्पावरमेंट एंड ग्लोबल बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस भी हमने इसमें शेयर की हैं सर. So the key focus of this sessions was that we had experts. So I'd like to name few of them. Apraka, NIRD, NCUI, IIM Nagpur, IIM Mumbai, Sanasa Sri Lanka, NABARD, FAO, and NCBL Nepal, IFCO, CSC, METRAV, RBI, NCDFI, ICR institutions, and many of them which are shown on the green color of the panel. Without naming them, I kind of acknowledge the, sharing your valuable time with us and coordinating these expert sessions with us, sir. Next. Another major thing was that we were very keen to exhibit the products and services that are being dispensed by the cooperatives which need to be showcased so that they can be replicated. We had the exhibition which kind of showcased the products from the FPO, startups and industry stakeholders to present the products, services and innovations. And the logos of the few of the exhibits are located, are kind of shown in this slide. We had prominent speakers, participants from Amul, NABARD, and the SHGs, and some of the FPOs promoted by NEFED, TriFed, AI Labs also, and Cooperative Innovations, ICR, Indian Institute of Veterinary Research, and various cooperatives which have been incubated in Vamnicom's own startup incubation system. Another highlight of this was the case studies. We had deliberated on the case studies from each of the country. As I had spoken in the inauguration session that our Honorable Minister for the Cooperation has always focused on how best practices need to be shared more and more. And with this objective, this case study highlights were presented. And we are happy to share that we did get key insights on how cooperatives in Nepal, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Liberia, and Zambia, Mauritius, and Namibia, who presented these cases, were very interesting to note the importance of cooperatives in the respective countries. The outcome was that we got the practical insights, like for us, many of us, marula oil was something very, very new, and then we came to know about the value additions of the marula oil, and it was heartening to note how Namibia, through the women, have been taking it forward, sir. Next, please. We also had a special event, a cultural program and networking, which was organized by the students of agribusiness management, and we could showcase the culture and the diverse culture of our country, and also we got the reflection of other countries' cultural programs also. We had networking, a lot of networking opportunities were available for us to kind of collaborate, talk to each other, share our notes with each other. साथ ही सर हमने एक स्टडी विजिट का भी आयोजन किया आगा खान पैलेस और पुणे डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक में भी हमने विजिट का ऑर्गेनाइज किया था सर. सर जो इन सब डिलिब्रेशन से जो रेजोल्यूशंस निकल के आए सर, जो मेजर रेजोल्यूशंस और एक्शन प्लान इस 3 दिन के सत्र से जो निकल के आते हैं सर, वो है कि हमें गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट के द्वारा हमको स्मॉल कोऑपरेटिव्स को हमें उनको बढ़ाना होगा. साथ ही फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन के द्वारा मोबाइल बैंकिंग और डिजिटल पेमेंट्स के द्वारा स्ट्रेंथन करने की ज़रूरत है. मार्केट लिंकेजेस को हमें कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा पूरी वैल्यू चेन के अंदर. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट लाइक कोल्ड स्टोरेज, लॉजिस्टिक्स, सप्लाई चेन chain, they need to be digitized. Fair pricing was an issue also. Cross-border trade needs to be enhanced, especially amongst the SAARC nations and other nations, amongst the African countries to have this cross-border trade. And green cooperatives, where climate-smart agriculture was the focus out there, and global standards and compliance. Yes, we spoke, if you have to go for international market, more and more standardized products would be required and compliances to the global standards would be required. And further to this, sir, because 3 days intensive deliberations were taken, so I'm just going at length because these are the action plan for the future. We were also talking about incentivizing sustainable practices, and job creation and wealth generation also came in a big way in our conference sessions here. Women and youth empowerment, digital transformation, international best practices, partnerships, investment in trade, and policy recommendations came to us that how global cooperative policy framework will ensure sustainability and resilience. So, in पूरे इस इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर सर जो सबसे बड़ा टेक अवे निकल के आया है कि पूरे इस वर्ष के अंतर्गत हमें पार्टनरशिप और कोलैबोरेशंस के द्वारा काम करना है, दैट वी हैव टू वर्क विद पार्टनरशिप्स एंड इंक्रीज्ड कोलैबोरेशन. एंड आई एम हैप्पी टू अनाउंस सर कि वी आर नाउ हैव एन इंटेंट ऑफ एमओयू के लिए हमारे पास एक इंटरेस्ट है फ्रॉम CICTAB, जो कि सेंटर फॉर इंटीग्रेटेड रूरल डेवलपमेंट फॉर एशिया एंड पैसिफिक फॉर ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट फॉर कलेक्टिव. CICTAB जिनका कि ऑफिस बांग्लादेश में, सर उनके सेक्रेटरी जनरल यहीं थे और उन्होंने हमें अप्रोच किया है कि किस प्रकार से CICTAB और CICTAB मिलकर के इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेशन को स्ट्रेंथन कर सकते हैं सर. सो वी वुड लाइक टू गो फॉर दिस MOU विद CICTAB. वी ऑल्सो हैव रिसीव्ड अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग MOU फ्रॉम सिंजेंटा फाउंडेशन, जिसके द्वारा हम फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन को प्राप्त करेंगे और भारत बैंकर ब्रिजिंग द गैप के द्वारा हम यूथ को ट्रेन करेंगे with the help of Valedictory and Syngenta across the villages to have better financial inclusion and make them ready for the jobs which are coming in the PACs and in the banks. Next. So we have a professor from IIM Mumbai and we had a meeting with the director IIM Mumbai और हमने एक हमारे पास एक collaboration का proposal है कि किस प्रकार से हम IIM Mumbai के साथ we can just collaborate and have a center for excellence at Valedictory. And also this center for excellence will be for cooperative transformation and leadership is proposed, and we hope to kind of get through this collaboration. We are still making an action plan for this collaboration and bring out the final key points. Next, please. So we'd like to kind of place our acknowledgements for this successful 3 days conference to the Ministry of Cooperation. Not only it was the financial grant that we received from Ministry of Cooperation, but also a lot of facilitation for visa, for the approvals, and a lot of guidance was achieved from the Ministry of Cooperation. We'd like to kind of give a kind of a gratitude, applause to the Ministry of Cooperation for their big support to us. Also, we are also placing our gratitude to the International Cooperative Alliance, although the ICA Asia office could not be with us, but yes, we were over the phone. They had given us in a lot of guidance and participation also from the ICA countries. And also a big gratitude to ADO, the nations which are represented here from the ADO countries. We kind of owe a gratitude to Secretary General Mr. Manoj Singh of ADO, and also Secretary General of CICTAB. We are also thankful to them, and APRACA Secretary General Mr. Prasun Kumar Das, who is here. We express our gratitude for helping us in this conference, which truly reflects a global partnership here. So this is about the conference, sir. Before I end, sir, हम लोगों ने जो collectively affirm किया वो है कि the conference reaffirms the role of cooperatives in sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Let us move forward with collaborations, innovation, and a shared vision. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you for presenting a well-articulated report on the key discussions and insights from the conference. One of the most valuable aspects of an international conference is the diverse perspectives shared by participants from different corners of the world. I now invite some of our international conference participants to share their experiences and reflections on this enlightening journey. Mike.
Good afternoon to all of you, Minister. It's a great pleasure to come from Sri Lanka and to participate in this conference and to hear the development of the cooperative sector in India. We were able to witness many very successful and very ambitious journeys of the Indian cooperative sector. And coming from Sri Lanka, there are a lot of things that we can learn, especially in the agriculture cooperative sector. We are also looking into how best we can develop our sector. And India has a great leadership in showing how the cooperatives can organize themselves and now go into digitally connected world and do international trade. So there are a lot of opportunities that coming from a very nearby country that we can, a lot of things that we can do. But in addition to that, with the learnings and experiences that that are coming from Vamnicom, and I had the privilege to visit another university also. So there are a lot of learning that we can cross-share from Sri Lanka. However small the country is, there are a lot of learnings that we can also share with India. And and all of us, we were welcomed by Vamnicom, and it was greatly organized. Students, all the students as well as the lecturers, they really looked after us from the airport up to now and made sure that we learned things, but we also enjoy and comfortably staying here. So heartiest thanks to Vamnicom. I would like to share, since you are representing the policy making in India, Minister, please take this message to your level as well. I left Sri Lanka, and when I was coming, just 1 week ago, we had to wear masks because the air was not very good coming from this part of the world. So as you think of making India bigger and growing India, please make sure that it's going to go into a very sustainable manner, and cooperatives can definitely partner in this journey with India and make sure that we are all inclusively connected and cooperatively developing as a region. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to stand in front of this distinguished audience. Mr. Minister, sir, thank you very much for gracing this function. My name is Washington Mugira from the Ministry of Agriculture in Kenya. I want to say that on behalf of the Republic of Kenya and on behalf of all the participants here, we've really learned a lot. Day one, we were taken through learnings on digital innovations in cooperatives. We also had an opportunity to go through case studies of successful cooperative models. We also learned about challenges and opportunities in value chains. In our second day, we learned a lot about the sustainability in cooperatives, unleashing prosperity through cooperatives. And today, sir, shortly before you came, we had a very engaging session on global cooperation. The takeaways and actionable insights as have been presented by the director of the Institute, Dr. Hemayada. We also had an opportunity, sir, to visit the exhibition, to see the exhibition visits. We had a wonderful cultural night, which we all enjoyed in campus. And we've had an opportunity to study, to have a study visit to one of the largest cooperative bank in India. And also we've had an opportunity to visit the Aga Khan Palace, a very beautiful place, this morning. And also we've really had an opportunity of great networking. Sir, the hospitality has been quite good. The reception was perfect. We've enjoyed our accommodation around. The food was great, entertainment was perfect, and we've really enjoyed the Indian hospitality. Thanks a lot, and we really appreciate. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for your valuable feedback. We are privileged to have Mr. Anusak Fengtinawong with us today, who is serving as Deputy Director General in Department of Rural Development, Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Laos. I now request Deputy Director General to share his thoughts with us.
Thank you. Excellency Mr. Mudiha Maho, Honorable Minister of State for Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Government of India, Honorable guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Departments of Rural Development, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Laos PDR, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Ministry of Cooperation, the Government of India, and express my sincere thanks to the CICTAB, and express my sincere thanks to the Unicom, who have invited us to join this important conference. Through this 3 days conference, as a Lao delegate, I have learned a lot of things, because Laos is a landlocked country and quite far away from India. And we have cooperatives, but our cooperative is like a baby cooperatives. We just have a few cooperatives, and we have limited of experience. So we join this conference. It's really great opportunity that we learn from India and all participants. Through these 3 days of conference, I pay attention a lot to listen to the expert, practitioner, and all participants to share the experience. I'm happy, and I found that it's very, very, how to say, amazing experience for me. And I will bring this experience, the knowledge, back to my countries. And I promise you all, I will make our cooperatives in Laos PDR more better, because we need great cooperatives like India. And I found that India is a great place to learn cooperative management. I read book that Madam handed over to me yesterday, and so today I feel a little bit sleepy because I read, and so interesting, many stories inside that books, like housing, cooperative, and so on. So it's so exciting, for me. And in my conclusion, I think after this conference, many takeaways that I will take back to my countries. And I wish we will keep in touch and move forward together, more cooperation. And welcome to Laos PDR also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address. We are truly honored to have amongst us Mr. Abba Gibril Sankare, Registrar General of Cooperatives, Gambia. I request sir to share his valuable insights with us.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. I want to start by recognizing the presence of the Honorable Minister of Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Mr. Muljita Mohol. I also want to recognize the presence of the Director, Institute of Rural Management, Dr. Dash, I also want to recognize the presence of Professor Ray, my colleague from Laos, the director, CICTAB, Vanukom, Dr. Yadav. I also Asia and Africa. Also, the students of Vanukom CICTAB, our guides. Also want to recognize the presence of the press and media, and of course our distinguished speakers. Because we learned a lot from them. The press and the media and all other protocols respectfully and duly observed. Good afternoon to you all. On behalf of the government of the Gambia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Food Security, I want to extend our profound thanks to government of India through ARRO for extending their invitation to us to attend this very important conference. When the ministry got the invitation, they called me and said, Mr. Sankara, you have to go and attend this conference, despite my busy schedule. So that's how I started the process, to attend this, this international conference. As you may all know, the Gambia is a very small country in West Africa. We started this cooperative movement in the early 1950s. But down the line, the movement somehow was very, very dormant. So the coming of this third administration, they revitalized. They say that they have to revitalize the cooperative movement because of the benefit, to farmers. So when I was appointed to the position, I told them, well, I have to have a direction. I have to come up with a national cooperative policy for a 10-year period that will help me to bring back the cooperative movement in the Gambia. It's unfortunate, though, I could not present yesterday, but that was what I was going to present to you, so that you will know we are as far as the cooperative movement is concerned. But yet still, to let you know that I have been very quiet these 3 days, but to tell you, a lot is in my bag now. And if I am back in the Gambia, I will see to it that my department, will move where we want to as far as the cooperative movement is concerned. Because I know India, they are the leaders, as far as cooperative development is concerned. As made mention by my colleague, I was reading Dr. Yadav's book yesterday, and I was made to understand that Maharashtra and Gujarat, I think as far as India is concerned, these are the places where one can come and learn about cooperatives. So I believe we are in the right place, and to let you know and be rest assured that anything learned here, I will try to replicate it back home. I know it will be very challenging at times, because I always mention this: in any developmental endeavor, you are bound to face challenges, but that should not stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. So I will also want to thank my colleague from Africa and Asia, because we have been interacting during these 3 days as far as cooperatives are concerned, and I'm sure we learned a lot. I will also emphasize that the platform, emphasized by previous speakers here, I think we need to create it. Let everything not stop here. In fact, I think the race should even start from here. so that when we are far apart, but that should not mean that we should not communicate. We are in a global world now. Anywhere you are, we can communicate. So please, my fellow participants, let's see to it that we are always in touch. I mean, any development, if you look at the fourth principle of cooperative, that is cooperation among cooperatives, I think let's learn from each other. Let's learn from successful cooperatives and then try to replicate it to our own. I'm sure through this we will be able to forge ahead as far as cooperative movement is concerned. So before ending, I want to once again thank Director Dr. Yadav, CICTAB and Famicom for their hospitality. Since we arrived here on the 11th, though my first night I was scared, I have to call my wife. Oh, if I come home very slim, I know that the food here, but to let you know, in fact, I even want to extend my stay now. I mean, because I'm glad that when we complain to them, they understand our situation and the food has really improved. So thank you very much for that. Also, the highlights of the cultural night. I think it will be one of the things also I will take back home. You see, when I was young, in the early 80s, Bollywood was a very popular movies in my country. So I used to like a very popular, movie, Disco Dancer. Disco Dancer. I used to like that movie, where he said, Goro Kina Kano Ki. That was my favorite movies. So I was really elated on that night, seeing the students, of course, of CICTAB and Famicom performing, particularly the younger kids. Me, I like kids. When I saw those young kids, performing, I was really elated. So I want also to thank you very much for that. Lastly, we have our student guides. They were very helpful. They were very helpful to us. They took us everywhere, this is what we know about hospitality. So I'm thanking the student guides. My friend is there, Vidya and Riaz. They have been very helpful. I also learned a lot from them. So on that note, once again, I want to thank everyone who participated one way or the other in the success of this very important cooperative conference. So once again, thank you all. Thank you.
We are very grateful for your thoughtful address, sir. Professor Parthare, Director of National Institute of Bank Management, is a distinguished economist and financial sector expert. His research focuses on banking sector reforms and cooperative financial institutions. With extensive experience in policy making and academic leadership, he has contributed significantly to understanding the role of cooperative banks in financial inclusion. His work has been particularly influential in developing frameworks for cooperative bank governance and risk management. It is my honor to invite Professor Parthare, Director NIBM, to share his insights and address the gathering.
Honorable Minister Sri Muralidhar Mahol, Minister of State for Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Government of India, our overseas friends, Deputy Director General, Department of Rural Development from Laos, and Registrar General of Cooperatives, Gambia, Dr. Umakant Das, and Dr. Hima Jadhav. It's a great pleasure to be here in this valedictory function of this conference. Dr. Hima Jadhav and her team deserve heartfelt congratulations for her outstanding leadership in organizing this international conference. I extend my sincere appreciation to her and her team at Vamnicom and the meticulous effort in bringing together experts and other stakeholders from across the globe. Their commitment to fostering intellectual dialogue and advancing cooperative digital innovation is truly commendable. And I was looking at the profile of the participants. You know, they are truly amazing. They're activists, academicians, policymakers, practitioners. So there's absolutely a wholesome experience. I was looking at that this 3-day international conference featured high-level intellectual discussion on the theme Unleashing Prosperity Through Cooperative Digital Innovation and Value Chains from 12 countries, 36 participants, coinciding with the United Nations Year of Cooperation. That's a great thing. And this is indeed a very, very important and burning issue, with over 12% of the global population engaged in 3 million cooperatives. These institutions, these organizations are not a marginal phenomenon, but a driving force for sustainable economic growth. Cooperatives provide jobs and work opportunities for 280 million people worldwide, accounting for 10% of global employment. As member-owned and member-driven institutions, they empower communities, strengthen social capital, and contribute to a more inclusive and resilient economy. Cooperatives have played a significant role in rural and economic development, particularly in agriculture, finance, and trade. Traditionally, they functioned as authority-supported entities that facilitated credit, input supply, and marketing services for small producers. However, in recent years, their role have undergone a radical transformation due to economic liberalization, technological advancement, and the push towards self-sustaining business models. In many countries, governments have reduced subsidies and regulatory control over cooperatives, allowing them to transition into autonomous, member-driven organization. This shift had mixed results as expected. Some cooperatives have successfully restructured, reduced cost, and adopted market-oriented strategies to remain viable. However, others have struggled. Something like a Darwinian process is on among the cooperatives as well. A critical challenge faced by cooperatives is ensuring active member engagement and financial sustainability. In cases where external agencies, such as NGOs or government bodies, have heavily influenced management, cooperatives often fail to develop internal capacity and accountability. Sustainable cooperatives tend to emerge when member contributes to decision-making, adhere to financial discipline, and adopt modern management practices. The digitalization of financial services and supply chain networks present new opportunities for cooperatives. Many are leveraging fintech solutions to improve the access of credit, enhance transparency, and facilitate efficient transaction. In rural economies, cooperatives remain vital in linking small-scale producer to national and global markets, enabling them to benefit from economies of scale and fairer trade opportunities. Moving forward, cooperatives must embrace innovation, strengthen governance, and promote self-reliance to remain relevant. With the right policies and support structure, they can indeed continue to play a crucial role in economic development, poverty eradication, and financial inclusion. I'm sure these 3-day conference have given us enough food for thought and action to proceed the movement forward. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening address and valuable insights on cooperative institutions. Dr. Umakant Dash is the director of the Institute of Rural Management, Anand. He has nearly 2 decades of experience in academia and research with institutes of national and international repute. May I now request Dr. Umakant Dash, Director, INMA, to address the gathering.
Honorable Minister Sri Muralidhar Mohalji, Minister of State for Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Government of India, my friends from international community, Mr. Anosuka from Laopedia, Mr. Abba from Gambia, my colleague Professor Parthare from NIBM, and Hema Yadav from Vamnicom, and delegates from both from national and international organizations and dignitaries. This is indeed a great pleasure for standing in front of you and sharing my thoughts. I must congratulate Dr. Hema Yadav and her team, join of course Parthare, for organizing such an international conference and bringing together the policy makers, practitioners, and researchers, and sharing their thoughts, international experiences from their own countries and learning from each other. Of course, what we see from the last 3 days deliberation, the challenges that we face in the cooperative sector, whether it is India or Vietnam or Thailand or Laos or Kenya, they are more or less the same. Some of them are limited access to capital, inefficient governance, internal conflicts, weak leadership, lack of modernization, lack of professional management, and political interferences sometimes. Of course, under the able leadership of Misaji, the minister has taken many initiatives to address the challenges here. Some of them, of course, making primary cooperative, say, economically vibrant and transparent. And always his thought is to make the cooperatives economically vibrant. They should not be any different from the corporate sector. So I think some time back I was going through a report which was published by the Primus Partners, which has done a thorough research, and which says the kind of capability or potential of job creation and say export and others, the potential that this particular sector has. And this time has come, we have to unleash all those potentials. So one thing which I must say, when we are treating cooperatives, it's no different from the corporate sector. So we should be on the same page, and we should do business the way they are doing. Of course, we know the 7 principles of cooperation. We do respect the self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. But at the same time, what matters the most is the bottom line of the economic entity. So if we are brought on the same page, we need to imbibe some of the good practices that the corporate sector is doing, and learn the good theories or principles that are being adopted in the corporate sector. I must I thank the ministry, and the Minister sir is also here, for giving IRMA the opportunity, and this is also already announced and being introduced in the Parliament, about new cooperation university. The very purpose of this new university is to provide enough human resources to professionally run the cooperative sector. So till today, what we were facing, tomorrow we are not going to face, and we also compete with the corporate sector hand in hand. The very purpose of this university is again believing the cooperation among the cooperatives. That's a fundamental principle which this university is also going to adapt. We are going to run as a hub and spoke model, working with the existing institutions throughout India. Not only in India, we have also the, liberty and power which is being given to work with the international institutions. I am sure in future we are going to work with some of the institutions which are being, or the countries which are being represented today. The basic thing that we are going to do is, of course, the economy which we see is a kind of which called VUCA, V-U-C-A. V stands for vulnerability or volatility, U stands for uncertainty, C stands for complexity, and A stands for ambiguity. Now we have to convert this VUCA into vision. V stands for vision, U stands for understanding, C stands for clarity, and A stands for agility. That is what we are moving towards under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Modi Saab, and our Minister, Amit Shah ji. So I think in future, the cooperative sector is also going to be equally competent, if not less competent, it is going to be equally competent with the corporate sector and able to unleash the potential that it has, and going to be one of the prime mover trigger to take India into a developed economic status by 2047, that's vision which is given to us by our Prime Minister. I thank Dr. Hema Yadav for giving me this opportunity, and I'm sure under her leadership and with her cooperation, many institutions are going to come to our fold, and we will help the cooperative sector becoming professional very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking address and words of wisdom. As part of the international conference, CICTAB invited research papers from academicians and experts in the cooperative sector on the theme, Unleashing Prosperity Through Cooperatives, Digital Innovation and Value Chains. विभिन्न स्रोतों से कुल 50 शोध सार प्राप्त हुए हैं, जिन्हें सुव्यवस्थित रूप से शोध सार संकलन में संकलित किया गया है। अब मैं माननीय मंत्री महोदय से विनम्र अनुरोध करती हूं कि कृपया इस शोध सार संकलन का औपचारिक विमोचन करें। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Recognizing and appreciating the dedication of our participants is an integral part of this event. It is now time for much awaited certificate distribution ceremony. मी माननीय मंत्री महोदय आणि अन्य गणमान्य अतिथींना पुढे येण्याची विनंती करते। Okay. We'll start. Okay. Now I invite Dr. D. Ravi, CICTAB consultant, to coordinate this ceremony.
Ask them to be careful.
इधर से जाना।
So good evening to all of you. So it's now time for awarding the participation certificate. So now I invite Mrs. Samadhani Kirivandane.
Okay. Okay. So, call Nepal people together.
Okay.
And,
So So I request all the Sri Lankan participants to come together. This one. This. Certificate. Next, Gambia. You can. Kenya. Namibia, Liberia, Mauritius, Zambia, now I request Nepal team to join. Nepal ke Nepal. Now I request Nepal team to join. Nepal. Next, Bangladesh and Nepal. Bangladesh. I request Bangladesh team to join. Bhutan representative. Lao PDR. Next, Indian teams to join. Indian? Not it. Okay. Now, due to time constraint, Indian can collect after the conference. Yes. Thank you very much.
सर्व गणमान्य अतिथींचे मनापासून आभार and heartiest congratulations to the participants. I feel honored to introduce the chief guest of the day, Honorable Shri Murlidhar Mohol, Minister of State for Cooperation. Mr. Akash Pratap Singh. Mr. Akash has designed the logo of International Conference 2025. Congratulations, Akash. आजच्या या गौरवपूर्ण क्षणी मी केंद्रीय सहकार आणि नागरी विमान वाहतूक राज्यमंत्री भारत सरकार यांना सादर विनंती करते की आपण आपल्या मौलिक विचारांनी या सभेचे मार्गदर्शन करावे.
Today in this CICTAB International Conference, Honorable dignitaries on dais, Honorable Anosaik Fengtimong from PDR, Mr. Abba Gribil from Gambia, Professor Parth Rao, Director of NIBM, Dr. Umakant Das, Director from IRMA, Dr. Hema Yadav, Director Valedictory, and honorable guests from various countries, ladies and gentlemen. I am happy to be a part of the closing ceremony of CICTAB International Conference 2025. This conference has not only provided a platform for debate, but also has encouraged meaningful discussions that will contribute to the growth of the cooperative sector across the world. In the theme of conference, Unleashing Prosperity through Cooperatives, digital innovation and value chains will definitely have impact on the global cooperative movement. You all may aware that United Nations has declared the year 2025 as International Year of Cooperatives. The inauguration event was conducted in November 2024 in Delhi with Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, as the chief guest, and in the August presence of Honorable Home and Cooperation Minister Shri Amit Bhai Shah ji. The delegates from 106 countries were present for this event, and it was truly an honor of the cooperative movement in India. जैसे कि हम सब जानते हैं, वैकुंठ भाई मेहता भारतीय सहकारी आंदोलन में एक अग्रणी नेता थे, जिनके सहकारी क्षेत्र में बहुत ही उनका महत्वपूर्ण योगदान था, और सहकारिता के इस दूरदर्शी नेता को श्रद्धांजलि के रूप में सहकारी प्रबंधन के लिए समर्पित राष्ट्रीय संस्थान का नाम वैकुंठ मेहता राष्ट्रीय सहकारी प्रबंधन संस्थान यानी कि वैमनिकॉन, जहां हम सब बैठे, ये रखा गया था। वैमनिकॉन 50 से अधिक वर्षों से सहकारिता के माध्यम से कृषि और ग्रामीण विकास के लिए सहकारी प्रबंधन, विकास, प्रशिक्षण, अनुसंधान संबंधित एक बौद्धिक केंद्र के रूप में कार्य कर रहा है। The Indian cooperative movement is the largest in the world, which has more than 8,55,000 cooperative societies and having around 29 crore members. Cooperatives have a significant presence in social and economic activities in India. माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के द्वारा 2021 में सहकारिता मंत्रालय की स्थापना की गई और अमित भाई शाह हमारे स्वतंत्र भारत के पहले सहकारिता मंत्री बने। इसके बाद उनके नेतृत्व में कई योजनाएं और पहल शुरू की गई, जिसका मूल उद्देश्य ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था को हमें मजबूत करना है, रोजगार के अवसर पैदा करना, ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में बिना किसी परेशानी के सेवाएं प्रदान करना और किसानों का कल्याण करना यही अंतिम उद्देश्य है। हमारी सरकार का दृढ़ विश्वास है कि ग्रामीण भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था मजबूत करने के लिए सहकारिता ही एकमात्र समाधान है। सहकारिता क्षेत्र को एक नया रूप देने का काम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में सहकारिता मंत्री माननीय अमित भाई जी के निरंतर मार्गदर्शन में हो रहा है। हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की देश में सहकार से समृद्धि की परिकल्पना को साकार करने और सहकारी आंदोलन को मजबूत करने के लिए माननीय केंद्रीय एवं गृह सहकारिता मंत्री श्री अमित भाई शाह की कुशल एवं अनुभवी नेतृत्व में 56 इनिशिएटिव की गई, जिसका मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारे अभी हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में, हमारी सहकारी संस्था में उसका हमने अनुभव भी लिया है। उस पर हम बहुत सारा काम भी पूरे देश में कर रहे हैं। आज पैक्स और क्रेडिट सोसाइटी की उपयोगिता बढ़ रही है और उनकी आय के साधन भी बढ़ा दिए गए हैं। पैक्स को 25 विभिन्न कार्यों के एकीकरण के माध्यम से मजबूत किया जा रहा है। पैक्स अब प्रधानमंत्री जन औषधि केंद्र के रूप में भी काम कर रहा है। पैक्स अभी किसान समृद्धि केंद्र भी संचालित कर रहा है। हमारे पैक्स को भी पेट्रोल और डीजल की डीलरशिप भी अभी मिल रही है, उसके माध्यम से भी पैक्स का काम चल रहा है। कई पैक्स अब एलपीजी सिलेंडर की वितरित यंत्रणा भी चला रहा है और गाँव में सीएससी जो है हमारे कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर के माध्यम से भी ऐसे कई और सुविधाएं देने का काम भी पैक्स के माध्यम से चल रहा है। हमारी सरकार ने एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव लिया और पिछले कई 1-2 साल पहले 3 बड़ी राष्ट्रीय स्तर की सहकारी समितियां बनाई गई, जिससे हमारे देश का सहकार और समृद्ध बने और शक्तिशाली बने और किसानों को हमारे उनका जो सहकारिता के माध्यम से जुड़े हुए उनको एक अच्छा यहाँ पे एक साधन उनको माध्यम से उन्हें प्राप्त किया जाए। इसलिए BBSSL, NCL और NCOL जो पारंपरिक बीजों की रक्षा करेगी, जो BBSSL जो हमारी संस्था है उसके माध्यम से हमारी जो पारंपरिक बीजों है उसकी यहाँ पे रक्षा की जाएगी, उसको किसान तक पहुँचाए जाने का काम इस माध्यम से किया जाएगा। NCL के माध्यम से हम एक्सपोर्ट को बढ़ावा देने के लिए काम करेंगे और NCOL के माध्यम से हम हमारे जैविक उत्पादों को भी बढ़ावा देने का काम यहाँ पे किया जाएगा। हमारी सरकार ने भारत के सहकारी बैंकों को भी मजबूत करने का निर्णय लिया। डेयरी और फिशरी सहकारी समितियों को जिला सहकारी बैंक और राज्य सहकारी बैंकों को बैंक मित्र बनाने का भी फैसला किया गया। इस पहल के तहत इन बैंक मित्र सहकारी समितियों को डोर स्टेप फाइनेंशियल सर्विस प्रदान करने के लिए माइक्रो ATM भी दिए गए हैं। इससे ग्रामीण स्तर पर व्यापार करने में आसानी, पारदर्शिता और फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन भी सुनिश्चित होगा। हमने अपने किसानों के लिए दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा खाद्यान्न भंडारण कार्यक्रम शुरू किया। इसके अंतर्गत देश भर में हजारों गोदाम आज पैक्स के माध्यम से बनाए जा रहे हैं। हमने बहुराज्य सहकारी समितियों के बोर्ड में महिलाओं को भागीदारी सुनिश्चित करने के लिए मल्टी स्टेट सोसाइटी में जो एक्ट थे उनका भी संशोधन हाल ही में किया गया। अब हमारी महिलाएं भी वहाँ पर प्रतिनिधित्व करेंगी। हम ये सुनिश्चित कर रहे हैं कि महिलाएं न केवल सहकारी समितियों के गतिविधियों में भाग ले, बल्कि भारत के सहकारी आंदोलन में लीडरशिप की भूमिकाएं भी हमारी महिलाएं अभी करें। इसके लिए भी कुछ न कुछ प्रावधान बार बार किए जा रहे हैं। आई एम हैप्पी टू शेयर विथ ऑल यू that our government is setting up Tribhuvan Cooperative University for capacity building, research and development and international collaborations in cooperative sector. The bill for this is already tabled in Lok Sabha, जिसका जिक्र अभी यहाँ पे हमारे इरमा के डायरेक्टर साहब ने किया कि ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा अहम कदम है कि हम पूरे देश में सहकारिता के माध्यम से एक आगे जाके हमारा सहकार अगर समृद्ध करना है तो उसके लिए एक अच्छी शिक्षा होनी चाहिए, अच्छे कोर्सेस होने चाहिए और उसके लिए एक विश्वविद्यालय बनाने का फैसला किया, जो कैबिनेट में उसकी मान्यता भी उसको मिली। अभी लोकसभा के अभी इस संसद के अधिवेशन में उसको लोकसभा में बिल के स्वरूप में पेश भी किया गया है। यानी कि मुझे लगता है कि बहुत अच्छा एक इनिशिएटिव इसमें लिया गया है। Our government will soon release national cooperative policy, which will be done first time after 2002. That was in Swargya Atalji's NDA government. I am also happy to note that the presence of respected delegates from Asia Pacific and Africa has shown the shared values of cooperative spirit. As this conference concludes today, I would like to congratulate CICTAB and the director and the staff of Vamnicom for the planning and execution. The energy and passion with which this event was organized was truly commendable. I sincerely hope that the ideas presented and discussed here will lead to useful policies and in the cooperative sector in the world. फिर एक बार मैं आप सभी का पुणे जो मेरा खुद का कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी है जहाँ से मैं सांसद भी हूँ, मैं मिनिस्टर के तौर पे अगर काम भी करता हूँ लेकिन यहाँ का सांसद भी हूँ, और इस नाते मैं आप सभी का फिर से एक बार पुणे में हृदय से स्वागत भी करता हूँ और आप सभी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं यहाँ पे व्यक्त करता हूँ. थैंक यू वंस अगेन. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र, जय सहकार.
Honorable Minister has talked about establishment of Cooperation Ministry in 2021 and the 56 initiatives taken by Ministry of Cooperation in the past 3 years for the betterment of farmers and rural people related to cooperatives to attain prosperity through cooperatives. माननीय मंत्री महोदय, आपल्या बहुमूल्य वेळेसाठी आणि मार्गदर्शनासाठी आम्ही आपले आभारी आहोत. A token of gratitude is the simplest yet most heartfelt way to express our sincere thanks. I invite Dr. Hema Yadav, Director CICTAB and Vamnicom, to extend a token of gratitude to Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Professor Shantanu Ghosh, Registrar Vamnicom, to present a token of gratitude to Director IRMA. अजून एक लवकर तिथे ना. I again request sir to present a token of gratitude to Director NIBM Pune. Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Dr. D. Ravi, CICTAB consultant, to present a token of gratitude to Deputy Director General, Department of Rural Development, Laos. Lastly, we extend this gesture of gratitude to Registrar General of Cooperatives, Gambia. Thank you so much. As we near the conclusion of this remarkable event, it is only fitting to extend our deepest gratitude to those who made it all possible. I now invite Professor Shantanu Ghosh, Registrar Vamnicom, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to you all. Respected dignitaries on dais, today's chief guest, Honorable Minister for State for Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Sri Murlidhar Mohal ji, the guest of honor, Professor Partha Ray, Director NIBM Pune, Dr. Umakant Das, Director of Institute of Rural Management, IRMA, Anand, Gujarat, Dr. Hema Yadav, Director CICTAB and Director Vamnicom, Mr. Ashok Phing Tham, Mavan, Deputy Director General, Department of Rural Development, Department of Agriculture and Forestry, Laos, Mr. Abha Gabriel Sankare, Registrar General of Cooperatives, Gambia, and delegates from 12 countries, the other dignitaries and speakers who are present with us. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be here to extend my vote of thanks to today's chief guest, Sri Muralidhar Mohal ji, Honorable Minister of State for Cooperation and Civil Aviation, Government of India, on this concluding occasion of Valedictory program for this 3 days international conference on unleashing prosperity through cooperatives, digital innovation and value chain, held at Vamnikam, Pune from 13th to 15th of February 2022. This particular conference was organized by CICTAB and Vamnikam, Pune under the patronage of Ministry of Cooperation, Government of India. We sincerely extend our thanks in absentia to Secretary MOC, the chief patron of today's program, and also our thanks to Sri Durgade, Chairman of Pune DCCB, who was not present with us as on today. It is said that, oh, see, sorry. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sorry. You are already here. I could not notice. It is said that all is well that ends well. Yeah. So I invite Sri Durgade, Chairman of Pune DCCB, and sorry, वो अंदर से दीजिए इतना, and request our chief guest to not the bouquet to him. Sir, Your Honorable, your presence, Minister Sir, your presence on is definitely a great inspiration for all of us today, that you could make your time, despite of your busy schedule, to accede to our request to act as chief guest in today's function. I also extend my thanks to all the panelists, speakers who enlightened us for this last 3 days with many thought-provoking insights during their deliberation on different themes in the past 3 days. The takeaway points are already deliberated by our director, madam. So without going in detail into that, I extend my thanks to all of you. I extend my thanks to all the delegates from all the 12 countries who participated in this international conference, my colleagues and directors from NCCT and from various parts of India, and other delegates from various other cooperative institutions, organizations, showing their experiences and providing a platform to initiate the best practices for further progress of cooperatives in the days ahead. With this international conference, and CICTAB and Vamnikam has initiated its year-long journey of IYC 2025. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to my director, Dr. Hema Yadav, Vamnikam and CICTAB, who remained as a constant source of inspirations and the guiding force to make this cooperatives a successful one. I also take this opportunity to thank Dr. D. Ravi, consultant CICTAB, my fellow colleagues, all the teaching staff of Vamnikam, as well as all the non-teaching and supporting staffs of Vamnikam, who worked day and night to make this program a successful one. There are many takeaways from these conferences, and I sincerely believe that this conference will continue a long way ahead to take the cooperatives in newer heights in future. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Now I invite Chairman of Kashti Cooperative Society to felicitate Honorable Minister. Music, ma'am. Okay, announce.
वाढवा अजून तुम्हाला पाहिजे ती मदत करतो मी येतो कार्यक्रम लावायचा मी सांगतो
I request everyone present over here to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की जय
कॅफेटेरियाला अनाउन्स
Arrangement for refreshment have been done in the cafeteria for all. The dignitaries, sir.
मध्ये पण आता हे सगळे
हो ना.